Welcome to the MIB podcast, where we help you chase your dreams side by side. And now, your hosts, Mike and Talia Osborne.
What's up?
Hey, everybody.
This is Mike.
And Talia.
This is the
MIB podcast.
MIB podcast.
MIB, baby.
Hope everybody's having a great morning. This is, let's see, today is a Tuesday here in Maine. Early morning.
Yes, it's a little bit chilly, not too bad.
It's like 27.
Oh, I didn't go outside, so I thought it wasn't bad.
Our state has no clue that it's supposed to be the springtime.
Yeah.
There's no 70-degree weather. There's not 60s. Not even 50s.
Not even 50s. Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
But there is sunshine, which is good.
We'll take sunshine because it can be a little depressing here in Maine with no sun.
Yeah, and there's no snow in the forecast, which is good.
But, you know, that doesn't mean anything.
It's still colder than Santa Claus underwear. But it's very, very whatever. Everybody's getting over sickness here, so if Talia coughs in the microphone, it's completely rude and her fault. But
I do apologize in advance.
Today is going to be episode 16. And the funny thing is, we've already recorded this once.
Yes, and the hilarious part of that is that the title is Married and Efficiency.
Efficiency. And, you know, we always do a mic check every day. We're testing 2 mics. We tested 2 different things. We did all the stuff in advance, trying to make everything as high quality as possible for you guys. And what happened? Giant freaking echo the whole time.
Through the entire 3 recordings that we did.
Yeah, not just episode 16, but 17 and 18.
Yes. So here we are, once again.
Being so efficient.
Trying to be efficient once again and get this done. But before we forget, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MIB podcast. And you can send us any of your questions. We really, really would love to hear your success stories so that we can tell the world about you. So check us out or send us a message at info@themibpodcast.com. If you are wondering what our family looks like or want to read some of our background story, please check us out at themibpodcast.com.
About us, / about us. A little recap. Episode 14 just went live yesterday, and that was on Married and Dream Building. It was literally an interview between Talia and I going back and forth talking about our dreams. And we're not talking about just materialistic things. We're talking about things we just want to accomplish. You know, the security that we need as a family. You know, obviously the money we need too, because, you know, we have 4 daughters and they're expensive, right? So that's what, you know, we talked all about that. And I just asked you guys, do that with your partner, you know, even, you know, I'm talking about, you know, we're married, but if you have a business partner that, you know, you just business relationship, you need to know what they're striving for. You need to know what their goals are. You need to figure out what they need and what out of the business, out of the partnership, so you guys can synergistically work together. Is that a word, synergistic?
It is.
Yeah. Synergy. Yeah, right there you go. Either way, episode 15 should be going live, I guess, tomorrow.
Yep. So by the time you hear this, episode 15 will be live. And that is Married and Failing Forward. So that just talks about how, you know, we're never taught how to fail. So a lot of us go into everything thinking, crap, I failed, I lost, I, you know, messed up. So that's the end of it. I'm done. No, you're never done unless you quit. So always strive forward. Even if you fall back, learn the lesson that you were meant to learn from that failure and keep moving forward. We give you a few success stories in that episode of people who are very successful today that you've all heard of, and maybe you just don't know their story yet. So check that out, episode 15.
Yeah, I mean, failure is not fatal unless it's final. You can't lose if you don't quit, right?
That's right.
It's like basically having endless fourth quarters, right? So that's the difference between winning and losing sometimes, right? Or most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just not meant to do something and you have to wave your white flag and say, okay, good decision to walk away. But yeah, most of the time it's not like that, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's like your passion or something that you want and, you know, your goal, your desire. Yeah. Go check out episode, 15 for that?
15. All right, guys. So We are going to talk about efficiency today. As we said, we had a little slip up yesterday with a lot of echoing. So we've redone it today. It's going to be amazing. We're excited. But yesterday would have been one of those examples where things were not going as planned. And our efficiency was not as high as we would have liked it to be. But, you know, there's a difference between being super busy and being productive. There's all kinds of people who are really, really busy, but you never know what they're actually doing. And they don't really accomplish anything. Like, oh, do you want to come over and study for your test tomorrow? Oh, I can't, I'm busy. But what they're really doing is watching TV for 12 hours. So that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to not completely eliminate, but get in check so that you can use the most productive hours of your day to be efficient.
Yeah, you don't want to be those people. You want to be calendar planned. You want to know exactly what you need to accomplish. You need to know what your quote unquote numbers are. Like for me in my job, I literally work with tons of great people, and I mean, I'm better, but not all of them. Most of them know what I know, right? And they can do what I do, and they choose not to. Right? You know, some people go slower at work to get overtime, which is kind of crazy, right? Spend more budget than you need to get overtime or stuff like that. So, you know, people hire me because I get 3 times the work done in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's no secret, guys. I'm sitting here the whole time educating myself, listening to podcasts and all this stuff while I'm doing this. So, yeah, there's a difference between being just busy and being productive. There's a lot of busy people out there that never do anything with their life because they can't find the time to carve out to do things that really matter, right? To move your family forward or anything else. There's no reason that anybody can't do a side hustle to make money these days, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it's very easy to be inefficient when you just have life all around you happening, right? Because, you know, for example, we have 4 kids. Mike works second shift, 2 to midnight every day. He works Saturday mornings, and, we have kids and they're in sports, and then we have a dog jumping through a window, and
podcast not working right.
Yes, podcast episodes having echoes, so we have to re-record. And we're working on private label projects. We have a couple books we're working on. We're creating courses. So we have a lot to do, and we could very easily get none of it done.
Yeah.
Just with the kids alone. Forget everything else, right? So,
So, I mean, how do you maximize your efficiency, which leads to maximizing your productivity? It really comes down to calendar planning and goal setting, right? It comes down to prioritizing your day to get done the most important thing first and then go down from there, right? So I tell everybody, every Sunday, me and Ty usually sit down and we write down what we need to accomplish throughout the week. So now, sadly, our Mondays are Tuesday because we're redoing these podcasts, but that's one of the things we do. This podcast is in high importance to us, so it's around the top of the totem pole, and we try to make sure that 3 come out every week to be consistent. And sure enough, we want to do 1, 2, 3 back to back to back to be the most efficient as possible, right? That way, Ty can just take one and do the editing and all that on a Monday, and then the second one will be on Tuesday and whatever, and it's nice and slow. And because a lot of the time of doing these editing of the audio is just waiting for it to go through to turn it into a YouTube file and whatever else. So that's kind of our priority for that day. And then we have an Amazon business that we resell on Amazon. That's a real big deal, and we have to prioritize that. And what we did, that's kind of funny because it's Amazon. They pay you every 2 weeks, right? So we get paid on a Wednesday, and we have literally a 2-week window to spend our money, to reinvest our money, to then get paid 2 weeks from then. So what did we used to do? We'd go out there and Ty would fill up her truck. And
by the way, we drive a small SUV with no trunk when you have 6 people in your family.
4 kids,
So, yeah.
And we have a roof bag, but literally Ty would go there and she could spend around $500 on the low end, sometimes as high as $1,000, but it would be like really cramped. We got an 8-year-old in the back with stuff laying on top of her type thing. And
poor baby.
Yeah, I know. But so what do we do to be efficient with that now?
So we installed a trailer hitch. We go and we get a trailer. And so we try to spend the weekend shopping rather than 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week and then try to finish it up on the weekend. So now we're knocking out shopping that took us 3 to 4 days in a week. Now it only takes us maybe 1 day, maybe 2. We might stay out of town or something like that with our trailer, but we also get family time when we do that. So we get in the Marriott, which we love, and the kids get to go swimming with dad. I get to relax a little bit.
Oh, my hair. I don't want to get my hair wet.
Oh, stop it. You wouldn't understand.
I sound just like you.
No, not at all. But we get to spend, quality family time together. Nobody gets crushed by bags.
It's like a miniature vacation, and it's all tax deductible.
That's right.
I'm not an accountant.
Also, when you are, excuse me, guys, when you are looking at, what do you need to do first? Well, everyone has non-negotiables that they have to go to or do. So you have meetings that are pre-set up for you. You have work sometimes. You have vacations or weddings or some other kind of big event, a holiday.
The kids' sporting events.
Kids' sporting events, things that are just pre-scheduled for you that you really have no control over. And so those are your non-negotiable dates or times that are completely blocked off. There's nothing you can do about those. That's fine. So what you want to do is take the available time and schedule that so that you are able to be as efficient as possible and get the things done that you need to get done.
Yeah, definitely. There's non-negotiables, like she said. You can't break them. You have to go to practice. You have to do sporting events. You have to do a wedding that we have coming up in May.
Kellen and Melissa,
yeah.
whoop, whoop.
Thank you. Flying to California from Maine. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to, that stuff you can't do anything about, but you have to be a part of it. You committed to it or whatever. Those are non-negotiable. So don't let the stuff sneak up on you. I know we follow Dave Ramsey and, the budgeting, expert. And he's like, every year, everybody's so just thrown off. Like they can't believe Christmas came in December again. Right? So I can't believe it. I don't have any money saved up for Christmas presents. So pull out Mrs. Visa and just max her out. Right. And don't let stuff sneak up on you. You know exactly what you need to get done. So monthly, make sure you just have it set up for a month or just know what's going on, right? Don't let stuff sneak up on you, right? So just like budgeting for bills, you budget your time. Make sure that you have the allocated time to knock out what's most important. You put out the fires first and then you go down, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we just make sure that the majors are getting taken care of, the minors are getting taken care of too, but not before the majors.
Right. So you're going to list your priorities top to bottom. So you want to tackle the most important thing first and then move on. So we like to focus on what feeds our family. So you focus, you focus on what feeds your family first and then go from there.
Yeah. Priorities are always based off feeding your own family first, right?
Yep. So if that's work, then that's what you got to focus on.
Yeah.
All right. So, we really love to do the podcast. And so we talked about how we try to do 3 a week and have that programmed ahead of time. So we're not falling behind and getting you guys the best information as soon as possible. But, one thing we also do is we try to schedule our post on Facebook basically a month in advance because Facebook has this awesome thing where you can schedule your post. So I basically take maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I schedule out posts from, say April 1st all the way to May 3rd, so that if there's any kind of hiccup and I can't get to it right away going into the next month, I don't have to worry about it because it's already taken care of, so that we can keep our engagement up on our Facebook. So these are just things that you can pre-plan.
Yeah, and then the same thing. We have a lot of different things we're doing right now, a lot of different irons in the fire, right? So we're constantly trying to make sure that we can knock out everything in a good rate. First, to give you an idea of our week this week, we had the podcast. We had to move everything to Tuesday because, Monday was completely wasted and sucks, but you know what? It's okay. And we are creating a private label Amazon business, a new brand, if you will, actually a few, with a partner. That is a priority of ours. That feeds our family. So that's right up there with the other things. Yeah. But with China, they're not even awake until 9 p.m. our time. It's like a 13-hour difference. So we don't even talk to anybody until nighttime. So that moves the schedule to night. So we can't really do anything. We kind of send stuff during the day. If we find something, get an idea, we send off an email, and that's good to go. but we can't really talk to them until later on at night.
Right.
So obviously we don't have that set up at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So, another thing is when Mike is at work, he tries to use his time as efficiently as possible. So you're like, well, he's working, so he's already using his time. Well, no, your brain is a computer, so you're always taking in information. So he likes to load his brain with tons of information, listening to podcasts and webinars and YouTube videos, anything really that'll help our business, right?
Yeah. And then I share with Talia, too, to maximize your efficiency. Talia can be watching The Real Housewives of St. Louis, Missouri, or whatever the crap it is, right? Or I could send her a YouTube video that was just super impactful, full of gold nuggets, and she could listen to that, which, like what you did last night, right? I found something great. I said, you're going to love this. Check it out. And sure enough, she did. She wants to spend $2,500 on it, but we won't talk about that right now. But that's how good these webinars are. They make you want to buy, and they're worth the money because they're millionaires selling them. But what about the kids? Well, I will say this up front. Business up front, it's like pushing a boulder uphill, right? It's just, it's hard to get that momentum, and it's a lot of work. You can't let off the gas even a little bit. The boulder starts going backwards, right? So you constantly got to be moving forward, which means sometimes, especially in being self-employed, you trade your 9 to 5 for a 9 to 2 or a 9 to 12 at night, or
that is
or
the
sometimes at 8 o'clock, whatever. So we traded 8-hour days for 14-hour days up front. But eventually, when we just did our Amazon business, we were working like 3 days a week for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. But then what happens? You get content. You don't want to be content. So you move and, you diversify and whatever else. So that's kind of what you got to do. But now we have 4 kids, and 2 of them are not worthless because they're a little bit older, 8 and 10. So what does Talia do to delegate chores and things like that? You can tell them about that.
Yeah. So I basically let the kids, I understand what my kids are capable of. And I give them chores to do. I delegate my responsibilities as the stay-at-home mom. I delegate those responsibilities to my kids who are capable. So
work at home mom.
Work at home mom, stay at home mom. It is the same thing, the hardest job in America. But either way, so my oldest can wash dishes, my youngest or my first middle can sweep. And so sometimes that, delegating and getting things in order and prioritizing I have to put the littles to bed so that my older 2 can be more efficient and not distracted by their littles. And so I can stay focused on what I need to do in the office. The kids are cleaning, they're taking care of the house, and so everything all works together. And the really great thing about it is you're teaching your kids responsibility. You're teaching your kids to take care of other people and not always think that everybody's going to take care of them.
Yeah, I mean, our kids are so self-sufficient. Like even our 1-year-old. I mean, literally, we could leave her in the house, and she's not gonna. She'll tell you if she's hungry or wet or anything else. She's happy.
Yeah,
like most happiest kid
alive. We don't do that, by the way. We don't leave her by herself.
Yeah, we leave for Cancun for a week and leave her here. But she's like the perfect kid. She'll sleep till noon and she's happy with it. And we give her a couple juice packs or food packs. She's happy, and yeah, that's it. So. We kind of already talked about private labeling, and you're going to love the next episode because it's going to be all about Amazon private labeling. I'm sure you've heard that buzz term, and we'll go over that. But, sometimes crap happens, right? Yep. Yesterday, we recorded 3 hours of podcast, right? Or it took 3 hours to record the 3 because, we went over notes, and then we kind of went free for all for the last 2. But it took a while. And then Talia wasted another 3 hours. I say wasted. I don't mean to be ugly like that, but we tried to salvage it.
Yeah, so tried really hard.
We took 3 hours trying to figure out ways to, line up the audio and this and that, get rid of the echo, and didn't work, right?
Nope. So that about killed my efficiency yesterday because that was not in my plans. Other things happen. You have kids. Sometimes they get hurt or they get in trouble. You got to deal with stuff in life. You could have a dog jump through your window like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, stupid dog.
We love our dog, but he took a loop around our kitchen, saw a squirrel, and tried to jump through the window.
Yeah, like here, a squirrel is almost like an endangered species in the winter. They're hibernating. You don't see them. This dog was like, hey, look, I've never seen one of those before.
We've only had him since December, and literally he's never seen a squirrel. So he jumped through the window, broke it, cut his little leg, and was bleeding everywhere. So this was last Monday. I had to load all of my kids, one of which was the baby that had just gone to sleep. So she was real happy about that. Load him into the car, dog's bleeding on all the kids, bleeding on me, get him to the vet. That whole ordeal with stitches and everything cost me about 3 hours of productivity and $340. So
plus a window.
$200
in windows.
Yes, so $200 in windows. So, you have no control over some things, and you have to really be able to regroup and bounce back. So once I got everybody home, got the dog situated, gave him his medication, got him away from the kids so he could relax, told the kids, get back to your, whatever you were doing before. And, I even had Bella, my oldest, cook dinner because she can do that. She's efficient like that.
She's
so,
she's a good one.
They're all good.
Well, she's actually good. Like, she can actually do stuff.
Okay.
The other one acts like she doesn't know anything. But she's so pretty.
They're all pretty.
Stop. Go cough over there. What next time? You're killing us.
I'm sorry.
We're live here. We're on a podcast. Are you kidding me?
You guys will forgive me, won't you?
Yeah. So, the next line was give yourself some grace with problems and issues that you don't wallow in self-pity and get stuck on. The worst thing is literally you have a plan, you get sidetracked or sidewinded or, whatever, blindsided, I guess the word is. And
smacked up.
Your whole backhanded by your wife. And then you just let that affect the rest of your day,
Right.
A bad moment that shouldn't make a bad day, shouldn't create a bad just outcome for the entire day or the week. Sometimes the week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, if you are having issues, say you have a sick kid, a sick mom, a sick dad, you're sick, a car breaks down. We've had that happen to us.
2 in 1 day.
2 in 1 day. It was absolutely horrible. But we didn't stop that day. We did not let that stop us from being efficient. That day we had so many meetings to do. So many. And, I think Mike might have had 3 and I might have had 3 or 4.
Exactly.
And so we still did the meetings, even though 2 cars died on us, the only 2 cars we had. We made things happen. So we could have sat down and said, man, that sucks. Our day is over. We don't have cars. And that could have been the end of our efficiency. But we decided that was not going to stop us. And that even though it was a sucky moment, we weren't going to let it ruin our day. We were still going to be productive and get things done. So that's kind of, sometimes things are a little rougher than just 2 cars. Sometimes someone is really, really sick in your family and you need to take that time for yourself and for them and deal with it. And that's okay. But after the time has passed, you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep moving because you have a future to focus on.
Yeah. I remember when we had lots to do and, we bought these lots from, to resell on Amazon and, we had Zoe was sick, right? Or she was probably 2 or 3 at the time. And literally what we did was we put her little, we had a little couch bed fold out thing,
Mm-hmm.
and we laid her in there with blankets and we took care of her while she had, it wasn't the flu, but she was, throwing up, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was what we had to do. Because we had a job, because truthfully, it wouldn't do us no good to get nothing done and not have money to feed the kids or
Right.
It weren't that bad, but you get the point.
Yeah.
It couldn't stop our day, even though that is an obstacle that would really just stop people in the tracks, right?
Right. And sometimes, once you plan and schedule and get everything in order, sometimes your plans or the project that you're working on, it finishes earlier than you expected. Sometimes it takes longer than you expected. So being efficient sometimes is about being flexible, being able to shuck and jive and move and keep going, even though
I like
something.
that shucking and jiving you're just doing there.
Oh, stop it!
Little shimmy.
Even though you
excite me at 8:48.
Oh, stop it! Sorry, guys. So even though you're not able to get things done as soon as you thought, or you get it done way sooner, that's an even better situation. But you got to be able to move on to the next thing when you have time and when you're able.
Yeah. So make sure, like we said this, kept going away from it, but prioritize your day. Literally, what's important. Literally, take a pencil or pen or whatever, write it down in a notebook. Use your hand, write it down because it creates a sense of urgency when you see numbers on a page. I got to get them done,
Mm-hmm.
So make the top part the number one part. Your top priority at the top, right? Get it done. feed your family first. Put that at the very, very top. Make sure that gets done. And then go down your list of priorities of what needs to be done.
And check it off, because that makes you feel good.
It feels so good when you cut through mark through your things and say, I finished that. Completion just releases adrenaline. That's just the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to do that, to make sure you do that. And, one thing that's pretty tough that I hear all the time is many people say just focus on one thing. And that's not something that's going to work for me and Talia. The truth is, we are a majority of our income comes from selling on Amazon, selling on eBay. Now, the problem is I don't own Amazon. I don't own eBay. I don't even own one stock in Amazon.
Yeah.
Right. And if I owned half the company, they wouldn't care anyway. Right. We've got shut down before. No fault of our own. Not one time. And it's been a couple times. One time was for somebody lying and saying we sold a fake item, but we literally showed the proof that we didn't.
Right.
But it didn't matter, right? We still had to basically say we were guilty just to get our account back up.
Yep.
And another time was because I didn't set up two-step verification
to sign in. Yep.
What a nightmare. Neither time was even, we didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
And they didn't look at the fact that, wow, you did, $380,000 of sales last year. Oh, wow, you did 40 grand last month in sales. Or, oh, crap, man, you're doing really good. You're making us a lot of money. Didn't do that at all, did they?
No. And, the problem, it's a great company. It's a great way to make money. But when you don't own the platform and you don't write the checks, your income is in someone else's hands. And we've learned that. So we're telling you, if you want to sell on Amazon, we actually encourage you to do it because it's a great way to make money.
It is the easiest way, known to man. No MLM, no small business, nothing can you start for so little and create a six-figure income so fast.
Yep.
And that's the truth. Nothing else is even equivalent.
I agree. So, even though we're saying, oh, we got shut down, you can get back up. As long as you haven't done anything incredibly terrible, they will let you back in and work with you. But as long as you're not writing the check, if your name is not at the bottom of that check saying that you're signing it and then someone else can cash it or you can cash it, then you really are not in complete control.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone else can say, "Whoop, sorry, dude, not today." So, we have to diversify because that's a lesson that we've learned from the past.
And the reason why I say this is, we're talking about efficiency here and productivity. Why do we bring that up? It's literally because we do a lot of different things right now. And we have to be literally knowing exactly what our goals are, right? Like Talia told you, literally we have a children's book that we are looking to get illustrated right now. We finally got an artist put together, and this is something we put off for 3 years. And you know what? It's on our heart to go ahead and get it done, right?
Yep.
We have an Amazon business that is killing it, but we know we don't own the platform, so we know we need to diversify, right?
Called a safety net.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a safety net. The truth is, if I'm off a skyscraper and I'm flying high, doing great, I want to have multiple safety nets. Right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm covered in all angles. So, I'm looking at affiliate marketing. I'm looking at e-commerce. We educate yourself in that. And what else are we doing? We got tons of stuff.
We've got the private label we kind of talked about.
Yeah, the private
earlier.
label partnership with the guy. We have a training course from Amazon that we put together that goes through every pitfall. We tell you everything we've ever bought, basically, and we give everything out there. And we're almost done with that. So that's another thing. We're finalizing videos and creating a membership site and things like that. And it's the first time we've done all that. So it's almost like we're teaching ourselves how to do the video editing, how to do the audio editing, how to not screw a podcast. Plus, we're doing the podcast, right?
Yep.
And Talia's launching another podcast called The Bomb Mom. It's going to be coming out in a couple weeks. This is all stuff that it's diversifying us. It's pulling us to different things, but that's what we have to prioritize our day and know what's first. Right now, The Bomb Mom's not making us money, and this doesn't either, but, it's something that we enjoy doing. So maybe sometimes it's just something that it's a fulfillment thing for you that's why it's prioritized at the very top.
Yep.
Or something that long-term, you want to be on here interviewing Gary V, and this time you got to start from the bottom, right?
Gary V, he wants to interview you.
Yeah. That's a lot of bleeps on that one, though.
All right. So, we talked about having a safety net, but really, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. We've heard that a lot from different people. And, you know, every distraction will take your attention away from the things that you need to accomplish. So really, we're trying to instill in you that you set up what you need to do, prioritize it, then schedule it so that your day is planned out, so that you can get everything done that you need to get done and feed your family and have that safety net, because literally anything can happen. Mike's been laid off. He's been fired for nothing, just on a whim. They don't, honestly, the corporation, I'm not talking about the people you work with. The corporation, the company doesn't care about you. They care about dollar signs because they're a business. The people around you, of course, they care about you, but there's some things that they cannot help. Yeah. If they start making less money, guess what? You're not the owner. You're going to be one of the first people to go. So you just want to be prepared. So having a safety net and being efficient at making that a source of income is important. So if that's something you want to do, go for it, but go hard or go home.
Yeah. And then, you know, something we really got to touch on is, you know, I assume our audience is not all self-employed, not fully self-employed, because they probably, you know, outside of just laughing at us or hearing Talia cough, they don't really care. They know how to do this, right? They're efficient already. They understand how to do this. The difference, I mean, what we're trying to bring to the table is how me and Talia work together and coexist in a business relationship without killing each other, one thing. Another thing is, I'm guessing right now you have a job. You have a 9 to 5, or like me, a 2 to 12. And how do you maximize the little bit of free time you do have to actually create a company out of nothing, right?
Right.
The worst thing is out of thin air trying to create a company. It's not that easy, but it can be done, right?
Right. You
have time if you make it, and you just have to prioritize your day. Whatever, you know your schedule, and just go ahead and make sure that you can handle. I mean, here's a good tip. Start before you have kids. Makes it a lot easier, right?
Yes.
Have success. Start with something very simple like an eBay or Amazon right away, like, you know, 12 years ago we should have, and do that, right? So just prioritizing your day, especially, like I said, if you're single and you're listening to this, you got it, man. It's probably the easiest it's ever going to be for you. You have no stress. It kills me when I hear these teenagers and things talk about how you do this and that. Or my sister-in-law, she's like the smartest person on the planet. She's got a great career, and she's thinking about going.
No, she is in school.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess I wasn't supposed to say, but yeah, she's going to be a pediatrician now. She's an engineer and doing absolutely phenomenal. But she had it on her heart that that's what she's called to do. So she's going back to school.
With how many kids?
She has 3 kids, and you know, a husband. My brother, she takes care of. And literally, she's so awesome that she can fit all that, the scheduling, the gymnastics, the sports, the church, everything in her schedule. Running marathons, and 5Ks and all stuff all the time, staying in shape, being healthy. And she can also go to school, get straight A's. And these kids, and I call them kids because whatever, we're old. I'm 33 now. Like 18, 19, 20-year-olds taking these classes with her. And they're like, I don't understand how you're getting straight A's. She's like, are you kidding me? You know, give a busy person the work and they'll get it done. Usually the busy people are the ones that are most productive. So when you're delegating, make sure you do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe eventually in the future, when you talk about productivity, you're talking about delegation to virtual assistants and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's what we hope to be at really soon.
Yes.
You know, we are so close to hiring a maid, and I honestly think it's more or less just deciding to do it. So maybe we'll do that today.
That could be good. All right, guys. So we want to encourage you. We hope that you got something out of this. Go right now, sit down, write down your goals, write down your schedule, figure out what you need to get done tomorrow so that when you wake up, you say, oh, yeah, I got that list. I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to start with. And you will have the most efficient day. Yep. And then let us know about it. Info at themibpodcast.com. We'd love to hear your success.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of new things on Facebook, a lot of expansion, getting a lot of new people to check us out. What we really appreciate, though, is we'd love for you to leave a review for us. I know we kind of babble on and we kind of get sidetracked here and there, but all we care about is you guys learning from the mistakes we've made. I mean, that's truly the only thing we bring to the table is the fact that we've gone out there. We've messed up enough that we had a little bit of success, and now we want to share that with you because we're real people. We have real challenges. We have real victories. You know,
right.
And that's the motto of this podcast. And you know, we finally came up with this motto like episode 1. We never talk about it, but it's literally real people, real challenges, real victories. Right?
Yeah.
People overcoming the challenges. There's always a brick wall in front of where you need to, get to. Right?
Yeah.
There's always a brick wall on the extra mile that you have to jump over. And that's just the truth of it. So, yeah, let us know what you think. Leave us a 5-star review, hopefully. If you think we suck, hey, just
send us an email. Don't leave a review.
Yeah, tell me you suck on an email, whatever. But we appreciate you guys. We really do. Our listeners are going up. Our downloads are going up. We're pretty deep into this. Almost episode 16 now, and we hope that you guys are enjoying this as much as we're enjoying making these podcasts.
Yep. Right. So go out, have some success, be efficient, and let us know how you're doing. We hope you have a great week and get lots done.
Get a lot done, and let us know how you're doing. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Appreciate you.